today we do have the moon moving out of this Virgo energy and moving into Libra energy. This particular transition always feels a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter, moving out of that low and slow, very focused on the here and now earth energy of Virgo. We move up into the mental plane. We move into a more connected, more communicative, more light and fluffy energy in that Libra sector because, of course, Libra energy just wants to keep things in the shallow end. We want to have fun. We want to lighten the mood. We want to be playful. We want to kind of find peace and harmony and balance in our emotions and in our thoughts. It's definitely a lighter vibe. The moon will go void, of course, at 1:41 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will be locking into that Libran energy at 3:48 a.m. So, with that being said, we have the moon, while still in this Virgo energy, making its last aspect before going void, of course, with Pluto, the great transformer himself. Now, you may remember that Virgo energy getting along with Pluto is a very favored aspect because both of them really enjoy doing a deep dive in our psyche, the inner workings of our mind, understanding where it is that our perspective, our perception, our understanding creates emotion, creates the memories that maybe we have to go back, maybe we really have to pick apart, maybe we have to override. Maybe this particular energy is going to illuminate for us where it is that there needs to be a shift in our mind space, in our thinking, in our perspective, in our understanding. Regardless, emotionally speaking, the minute that we change anything about our mental plane, about our perspective, we have a huge impact on that heart space. So it does kind of suggest that we are in a very transformative time in our inner realm, really, again, focusing on the smaller details of our mind's workings and understanding how what it is that we focus on and what it is that we believe in actually creates the emotional state in which we are sitting in as of right now. This is when the moon goes void, of course. Of course, things get shaky and unstable. Lucky for us, it's not going to be too long here before we lock into this Libran energy. We do so at 3:48 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the very first aspect that is made in this moon in Libra is an awkward interaction with Uranus. Uranus, of course, the great awakener, really showing us where it is that we have to have some aha moments, some epiphanies, where it is that we do have to make a major change. And in Taurus energy, this is very much focused on where it is that we have to kind of switch things up in our physical realm where routines, relationships, money matters are concerned. The thing is that this is an awkward interaction, and the moon in Libra just wants to find a peaceful place, a common ground, if you will. And Uranus is anything but balanced. He likes to really kind of throw a wrench into our plans, disrupt our emotions and our mental plane. And although we are looking for clarity and looking for a breakthrough, sometimes we have to have a little bit of a breakdown before that can happen. And this is definitely it. We are getting a jolt of energy to our emotions, to our mental plane that is going to throw us in extremes in order for us to find a balanced, grounded point. Now, the moon is going to help us out by bumping into the true note. This is a harmonious aspect with the soul path, with the destiny point, if you will. And we are starting to see through the unexpected disruption of our emotions and our mental plane, where it is that we want to move forward, where it is that taking a step, moving forward is actually going to provide us the safety, the stability, the security, the balance that we're actually looking for. Interestingly enough, we're going to get a little bit rocked by the energy because Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, ruler of information and communication, who is in Capricorn energy, again, an earth sign that we wouldn't typically find this roller coaster of thought and emotion from, we're bumping into Mars. Here's where things get fiery. Mars, ruling over our physical energy, our passion, our desire, even our anger if need be, is in Gemini energy, as you may well know. We've been there for a very long time. We have ants in our pants. We want to go ahead and take action. But here's the thing. We are feeling the impulse, the urge to go ahead and make some major change, but we're not necessarily too clear on what it is that we want to do, but that really doesn't stop us. We definitely feel like we just want to, go out in the world and see what's going to happen. Now, this is going to create a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of ants in our pants. We are feeling the impulse to go ahead and just make rash decisions without thinking them through. And let me just say to you, it is not advisable right now to just go out and take action willy-nilly without thinking long-term about the consequences of your actions. And this is also putting a lot of pressure on communication styles that likely aren't going to turn out very well because we're not thinking with a filter. We're just very kind of straightforward and blunt, and we have projected anger and frustration and impulse just kind of backing us. And it could actually turn into a shit show if we're not careful. It feels like we're in a rush. It feels like we're late. It feels like we are just, not thinking at all. And we could be very insensitive with our speech. We could be very, I'm going to say immature with our actions. We can have a lot of mental pressure, which could push us into taking this action, but it's not advisable to do so. Now, very rarely are we going to find I'm going to say, constructive outlet to actually push this energy through in a positive way. But let me just say the rush, the urgency is going to be there, pushing us to just, get things done or take action wherever we can just for the sake of taking action. You're not going to accomplish anything. If you are able to slow your roll and slow your pace and really kind of use the filter before you open your mouth, you're going to have a better time, because I'm telling you, if you let this energy push you into taking action or in a rush or making hasty decisions or speaking without a filter, you're going to have a mess to clean up. And it's not going to be fun, and it ain't going to be pretty. The moon is going to go ahead, bump into Saturn in a very harmonious way. Thank goodness. We are realizing right now where it is that emotionally speaking, we need to kind of find a new grounded point. And this is coming right after this, push, this restlessness, this impulse of Mercury and Mars kind of kicking it off. And so emotionally speaking, we kind of slow it down. Saturn here is restrictive in his energies, and lucky for us, this is a positive interaction. So he's not coming at us with a lot of weight, a lot of roles, a lot of responsibilities, or with a negative narrative. And instead, he's just slowing the energy down. He's blocking us from taking too many actions. He's blocking us in kind of ramping ourselves up. And this is exactly what we need to kind of get a grip. We need to take a breath, come present in our awareness once again, and really just understand that we're going nowhere's fast if we don't think properly about the actions in which we are looking to take. And of course, Saturn, being in Aquarius energy, is here to show us where it is that we need to build new systems and structures in our lives right now in order to support the dream and the vision that we keep projecting ourselves in a futuristic reality. The moon bumps into the sun in not the nicest way. This is air on air action though, the moon being in Libra, the sun being in Aquarius. We definitely get that air on air action. However, this is a very awkward interaction, meaning the sun has a force shining a bright light on the Aquarian energy that is pushing us to be better, pushing us to be progressive, pushing us to be innovative, pushing us just to get out of our own way, to get out of the box. Well, the moon, emotionally speaking, we're not really ready to do that. In Libran energy, we just want to find peace in the here and now. We don't really want to project ourselves too far into the future when our current state of affairs are a little bit chaotic and need a little bit of stability. So there is a little bit of tension here because, of course, the Aquarian energy has us thinking way ahead, and the Libran energy just wants us to find a grounded point in the here and now. The moon bumps into the true node in a very awkward way, giving us a little bit of a choice point, a learning lesson, if you will, on what it is that we want to do as far as moving forward, but realizing where maybe we need to kind of sit in this present moment, heal a little bit more, address our wounds a little bit more. Maybe we need to research something a little bit more. Maybe we need to gain a little bit more info before we can go ahead and actually take action on, pushing the narrative into this new path, this new direction, this new reality. Now, here's where we get a little bit of restlessness. 7:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the moon is going to sit across from and oppose Jupiter, who is in Aries energy. Libra and Aries energy sit across from each other in the zodiac wheel. Jupiter is here to magnify and turn the volume all the way up on whatever it is that we're thinking and feeling. And in this Aries energy, we have ants in our pants. We just want to go out in the world, create new opportunities for growth, for abundance. And the moon in Libra energy just wants us to be happy, to be peaceful, just to find common ground, to find contentment in the here and now. So here's the thing. Restlessness, anxiety, ants in our pants, definitely going to be noticeable. Even more than that, we could find ourselves in a situation where we realize we're bored, where we're trying to overcompensate for that boredness. We may be kind of at the point where we're rising to the challenge of creating new opportunities because we're bored and discontent. And this is definitely going to really have our inner realms in a state of, should I stay or should I go? There's a lot of temptation to kind of fill the void of boredom that we got going on here. And Jupiter's here to try and push us outside of our comfort zone, and Libran energy is just here to find comfort in the here and now. So you can kind of see where the tug of war is taking place and how that might kind of push our emotional state into a tizzy. Now, the last aspect that we have here today is the moon in Libra, making a very positive interaction with Uranus, the great awakener, who is in Taurus energy. Libra and Taurus energy have a lot in common because Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, worth, and pleasure, herself rules over both Libra energy and Taurus energy. So let me just say that the earlier interaction with the moon and Uranus wasn't so favorable, kind of took us through a little bit of a breakdown, a little bit of disruption in our emotional realm, really kind of added a layer of confusion on what it is that we want, need, and desire in our lives in order to create the peace and the harmony and the stability that we are definitely searching for while the moon is in Libran energy. This is a much more favorable aspect, which means that we have a potential to gain a lot of insight, a breakthrough, if you will, an aha moment, an epiphany, where we are able to see where sudden change is needed in our physical realms, where routines, relationships, and money matters are concerned, especially where our long-term plans are concerned, considering those factors, where it is that we need to make some changes in order for us to find that peace, find that harmony, find that middle ground. Find contentment in our lives, really focused on the smaller things in our life and really kind of focused on the creature comforts that we can focus on and that we can enjoy in the here and now.